Yeah.
Won't you just come my way?
Come in.
Baby. Won't you just take your time?
Okay.
Fly girl, fly girl, fly girl, fly girl. Please like, subscribe below. Yes. So this is the part 2 of the Fly Girl. Yes, we talking about next door. Okay, next door where Mercedes and Raheema live. Yes. So first off, let's talk about Beth. Beth, quiet woman, sweet. She's kind. She's, she's very subtle. She don't really speak too much. She don't really express herself too much. And she is with Mercedes' dad, Keith. Now, Keith is arrogant. Keith is controlling. Keith puts everybody in line. When he comes in the house, everybody's in their rooms. Keith is just... I don't like Keith too much. Throughout the story, Mercedes' mom is very mellow, and she's, wanting her daughter around, but because of Keith, her daughter left. So she can't really have that interaction with her daughter. She's very subtle, and she's like, yo, Mercedes, you and your dad are alike. You and your dad are alike, and that's why you guys have bump heads so much. But over the time, they fixed their relationship, Mercedes and her dad. But her mom kind of acknowledged her and told her, like, listen, you have to slow down. You can't be moving all fast the way you're moving. You have to take your time. You don't want to get in no trouble. You don't want to be at a bad place in life. You have to move slow. And Mercedes was like, no, I'm grown now. And this man is making my life a living hell. I feel like her father pushed her to the streets. I feel like her father made life difficult for her to live. Her father was very difficult, and her father really was hurtful for her, and she didn't want to keep being in that type of situation, stressed out all the time. Now there is Mercedes. Mercedes began smoking at 13 years old. Yes, 13. Mercedes was in a desperate need for attention because her dad worked, and when he was home, all he did was yell at them, didn't allow her to do nothing. She just had to cook, clean, and make sure, keep house. But her dad was kind of a control freak, so she just never felt loved by him, and he was always trying to tell her what she can and cannot do, but not loving her the way she needed to be loved. That's what was going on with Mercedes. Mercedes' mom noticed a gold chain around her neck that came from a guy while she was living in a house, and she told her about it, but Mercedes was like, listen, I don't care, because I know this is going to hurt my dad. And that was her big thing. Whatever she knew would get under her dad's skin, she did. And I feel like that's why she started messing with guys, because she wanted her dad's feelings to be hurt. So she's like, listen, I know if I mess with a guy or a couple of guys, my dad's going to be upset. So you can't tell me not to talk to no guys. I'm talking to who I want to talk to. So that's why she was doing it. Mercedes asked her dad about going to a Prince concert, which turned into like a big fight. And when they fought, he kicked her out. He was sick of her mouth. He was sick of all of it. He was like, listen, Mercedes, you can get out, okay? Because you've been doing too much. Mercedes was skipping school, talking crazy. She was getting away with murder around the house, and he was just sick of her. And the last straw for him was when she asked about a Prince concert. So Mercedes said she was going to go move with her auntie. And while she was with her auntie, she got out of control, loose, and was all in the streets, and at the end ended up, and Mercedes came back to her parents' house at the end. Let's talk about the guys that she dealt with. Now there was a guy at the beginning that her first kind of interaction with the guy was Wallace. He was the first boy she had an interaction with. He liked her, but she didn't really like him like that, but she was just getting used to talking to boys. So she kind of liked talking to him. The next guy she talked to was Kevin. She gave Kevin her number. She was sneaking, to talk to him over on the phone. That was her first person she ever had sex with. She liked him so much. He had sex with her a few times, and then after that, he just got sick of her. He was like, no, I don't want to talk to you and whatever. I think he taught Mercedes that if one guy hurts you, you can move on to the next guy. I think he taught her that, don't cry over spilled milk. Move on with your life and be happy. Mercedes used men as a way to climb up the social ladder. So she used men. She used what she had to get what she wanted. Yes, she used guys to get further in life because she felt like, listen, if these guys want to sleep with me, they want to talk to me, yeah, they're going to give me money. They're going to give me whatever I need. If I want a car, these guys, if you want me, boo? You gonna give me a car. You gonna give me what I need if you want me. So she was like, yeah, I'm gonna talk to these guys to get over and get where I need to get in life. That's how she was feeling. And one of the last guys they went into detail about Mercedes talking to was a guy named Punch. He used to punch girls when she was living in the house with her dad. That's what he was known. He wasn't known for punch because he could punch girls. He was known for punch because he was a boxer, but he could punch girls, and he was really violent. And he was just talking crazy and acting crazy, but she liked him because he was assertive and he was, take charge. And I think that's because of her father. She went for guys that was a lot like her father, the guys that used to step up and take charge. That's why she liked Punch. Now, next door, Raheema was so sweet and so kind. The first boy she liked was Bruce, and as you know, Tracy started talking to Bruce. After that, she didn't have sex in the book at all. She attempted to have sex with a guy named Chuck, but that didn't really lead too much because she was just trying to, you know, experience life per se. But Chuck just was, you know, too pushy, and she was about to yell rape. She did not like him, and he was trying to force his way to have sex with her. But when he noticed she was gonna get him into like a charge and he could possibly be going to jail if he kept on trying to have sex with her, he just kicked her out the house, told her to get out, and she went home crying. I think that Raheema fought with trying to find herself through the story. She wanted to find her place. She wasn't sexual, she wasn't promiscuous, she was sweet and kind and to herself, and, you know, just nice and respectful. And she just felt like, listen, this is a world of the Mercedes and the Tracys of the world, and I don't stand nowhere, and I don't know where I belong, and all of that. So it was just really, really sad. And, you know, I think she wanted to belong somewhere because she watched Tracy and her sister have fun and all of that. And she ended up going to a nice college, and I believe she has a high future, and great things are going to happen to her. And, you know, I think that she's really tried her best to understand her sister. And at the end of the story, her sister came back to the house, you know, got closer back to her dad and talked to her dad and kind of let her dad know where she was coming from mentally, talked to her dad, and came to one accord with her dad. And I think that led to him, you know, releasing some of the grip on the family and, you know, understanding that, hey, he did push his daughter away. So at the end of the book, everybody came together and everybody kind of came to a good conclusion. Let's talk about, I think her name is Jatel or Janelle. I'm sorry, guys, I'm horrible with spellings and horrible with names, so we'll just call her Jay. Jay was one of the friends, Tracy's friend as well as Raheema's friend. She was nice. She was a track star in the book. Eventually, she would, you know, came from a good home, and she was sweet and kind, and she was a good girl. She hanged around with Tracy for a little bit. When Tracy kind of got a little wild, then she went to hang around with Raheema, and, you know, went back and forth. But at the end, Tracy and Raheema got closer and everything. But there was another friend whose name was Carmen, and Carmen was really promiscuous, and Carmen was flirtatious. Everybody knew that Carmen was getting around and Carmen was sleeping around. But Tracy liked Carmen at a time, and at a time when Tracy was promiscuous, she and Carmen hit it off. They were good friends, and she could tell Carmen everything. But as Tracy got higher in her spiritual journey and how she got higher in her blackness journey, she just didn't really like too much of Carmen anymore. And Carmen ended up getting pregnant at 16. But Carmen's husband, because this guy wanted to marry Carmen, he told Carmen he would marry her. He came from a wealthy home, and Tracy was trying to push it in Carmen's face that she was pregnant at 16 and she was messing up her life and trying to put her down. But Carmen told her, listen, I got a man that want to marry me. I got a man that see good things for me and see, you know, put Tracy back in her place. And she was just ate up her words. She was trying to make Carmen feel bad, but ended up feeling bad. So this was a great book. I love this book. This was one of my favorite books. I love this book, and I love The Coldest Winter Ever. I'm definitely going to try more books, but I love these books, and these are, you know, my favorite books right now. So I reviewed it, and I hopefully you guys loved it. Thank you. Please like, subscribe below. Yes.